Hello. Let's start playing and doing things. That'll be fun. I'm a little bit tired at the moment, but hopefully I could just kind of get myself a little awake and we'll make some progress. As the stream... I tripped up my words. I was saying that I'm feeling a little tired. Hopefully I feel a little more awake as, the stream goes on. Let us see how tonight goes. We finally finished Act 1, which feels like forever with my scarce amount of playing with Cold Steel 2. And we're going to be hitting the intermission stuff tonight. I really like the intermission. I'll explain why later. Hopefully I still really like it. And look at everyone here, just kind of chilling in the Ymir. And a few people having the baths and everything. Reading with the ladies. Nice. So, Class 7 is reunited, but stuff happened, Noble Alliance, invaded the Ymir. And Reen ended up joining them just to kind of quell the conflict. And let's see how it goes.
So this is what Duke Cayenne looks like from up close.
Well, they technically, Reen saw him, but this is the first time they really met.
It's hard to believe that I've ended up in the same room as the leader of the Noble Alliance.
Yeah, stuff happened.
Although, I guess we did meet back in Legram before the war broke out.
Well, what I was commenting on there.
Reen Schwarzer. Truth be told, we don't want this war to drag on any more than you do.
Really?
We only acted as we did due in part to our dearly departed Chancellor's behavior being far too unreasonable to justify turning a blind eye.
Yes, dearly departed.
He garnered the trust of His Majesty, and in turn misused that trust. He flagrantly disregarded this nation's beloved culture and traditions, treating Erebonia as if it were his own personal property. Surely you too noticed this.
Well... I can't say I disagree. We did hear story after story during our field studies about how aggressive his policies were.
Very much so.
About the way he didn't care how many enemies he made as a result, creating terrorist groups like the Imperial Liberation Front.
Hey, Crow.
But as I said, the cause of our nation's ills is now gone.
Well, thank you for the hosting, Kirito and Mr. Cunningham. Auto-host or no, thank you.
Now, all that remains is to turn back the hands of time just a touch, and the good old days of the Empire will be upon us once more. The key to this bright future lies in putting aside our differences and joining hands. Am I wrong?
Look at that smile. Real deceptive there.
I'm afraid that yes, you are. Do you honestly believe that people can so easily put aside their differences after all the Alliance has done?
Green makes a point too.
You occupied Heimdall and effectively took every one of its citizens hostage, imprisoned the Imperial family. And let's not forget how you're now in league with the enemy nation responsible for the destruction of Gorelia Fortress.
Yeah, Reen's got some balls there, despite him being in the heart of enemy territory.
After all that, the Imperial Army would never bow their heads to the likes of you, even if the rest of the population did.
My word, I'm afraid there's been a terrible misunderstanding. The Imperial family is simply under our loving protection. They certainly haven't been imprisoned.
Sure.
But that does bring me to exactly why I want you to help us.
It does?
The Azure Knight is already on our side. But if we had your Ashen Knight as well... that would mean we'd have two of the great knights of Erebonian legend to put into play.
You know what, for the fun of it, let me see if there's any buzz on Facebook and Twitter. Ad. I wish I was a little more awake than this. Gotta love low energy. Yeah. One momento. Air.
Couple them with our Panzer Soldats, and the Imperial Army's armored divisions would cower before us. You may not find us winning the war ideal, but this union benefits everyone more than carrying on until our inevitable victory,
Oh, I got a notification. Of course, Blue is streaming. It's like I was initially considering not streaming because of, you know, I thought he was getting busy with stuff, but no, he's starting. Not that our audiences overlap, but I wanted to watch his stream, but I feel committed. I'm only 11 minutes in, but I don't want to, you know, just stop in the middle of this.
I don't think it's that simple.
I beg to differ. The presence of Soldats units on a battlefield makes a tremendous difference. What they may lack in firepower and armor compared to tanks, they make up for in mobility and versatility. But more important than even those factors is the psychological impact they have on our opponents.
Yeah, sorry for the sidetrack.
Well,
we're only human. As such, we are as captivated as we are terrified of giant beings bearing human form. And if that holds true even for mass-produced Soldats made with modern technology, it will be all the more true for the divine knights of legend you and Crow possess.
Well, they are divine and all.
Can't argue with that logic.
And sorry, Moose. Sorry, just a little unfocused.
I will say it once more. Gileath Osborne is dead. And With his death, all that's left to be done is end this ridiculous war and return order to the Empire.
I know, Izayoi. Yes, safely stream CS2. Well, timing is magic. And how you been doing that? Seen you a lot in Gale Fires, but I haven't seen you stop by here.
Only then will everything be as it should.
Even I want to join in on Blue's fun, but it's like, no. I feel committed to this now. I just started.
That includes both your pleasant academy life and the peaceful days of darling Elise and her friend the princess.
Are you trying to?
Yeah. Nice Tio emote.
Whatever you ultimately decide, their safety is guaranteed. I would ask that you promise him this, if nothing else, Your Grace.
How you been doing well?
But of course, I'm not a monster.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Rufus.
We may stand on opposite sides of this conflict, but I still sit on Thor's board of directors.
I sort of forgot that. And, again, notifications. Okay. Oh, so you speedrun third? Nice. How's that going for you? What's your time? That is interesting, a Kaseki game to stream run. Yeah, I didn't know you were doing stream runs games. A speed run, not stream run. Nicely done. I've always been, kind of curious and poking around the thought of speed runs, but I have a hard time just committing to one game and repeating it over and over again. So it kind of admires that have the patience and diligence that do so.
And in that capacity, I suggest you consider carefully the choice before you.
And wouldn't know exactly which game I would want to stream. Speed run. Understandable. Yeah, you gotta do what works best for you, sir. Uh-oh, if it's not sir, then my mistake. It was just kind of a reflex.
After all, every soldier must decide for himself whether a cause is worth fighting, perhaps even dying for. I look forward to hearing your answer.
Try to what this? They're not worthy of getting voice lines. And here's Intermission aboard Pentagrel. Oh, I was at turbo mode. Maybe they did have voice lines and I ruined them. Okay, do another run. Good stuff, good stuff. So, for those that don't know, with this intermission, we're going to be hanging out with the villains, basically. Lots of bonding and chilling with the villains. And that's part of the appeal of the intermission chapter. I'll explain that as we kind of go through the process. I'm a little bit unfocused because I'm just kind of timing of things and my mind is elsewhere. So part of me is a UA for not being the most focused, while I'm just kind of looking at Discord messages and stuff.
All that's left to be done is end this ridiculous war and return order to the Empire. Only then will everything be as it should.
And I'll probably drive those who watch the VODs, if any, you know, nuts or something.
That includes both your pleasant academy life and the peaceful days of darling Elise and her friend the princess.
Uh-huh.
I suggest you consider carefully the choice before you. After all, every soldier must decide for himself whether a cause is worth fighting, perhaps even dying for. I look forward to hearing your answer.
It's hard to argue that this war began because the noble faction went too far.
And their excuse is that Osborne went too far.
But the longer it goes on, the more people are going to suffer. Am I really okay with that? If I join them, I could reduce the number of victims, be friends with Crow again, free Elise and Princess Alphen. No, this isn't that simple. Think, Rain, think! I was able to reunite with the others, but Elise and Princess Alphen are still in the Alliance's custody. What's the best thing I can do?
Well, the best thing I could do is focus a little more, but I'm going to be checking a little more messages. Probably a bad idea that I'm going to be lurking this stream on mobile, but let me enjoy myself. Yeah, that's the best thing he could do. Easy peasy, you're right. They're like, Green's gonna be the Estelle and someone else is gonna be the Joshua.
This isn't just about me. What do all of us want to do?
Keep racking your brain like that and smoke will start coming out of your ears.
What do you want?
Bro, we miss you.
Hey now, no need to give me that look.
As a reminder, I did all the bonding events with him in Cold Steel 1, and I chose him as my partner for the dance night.
I figured I was gonna find you busy thinking everything over like your life depended on it.
Crow knows Reen all too well.
And what do you know? I was right.
How about you mind your own damn business?
Reen is being salty on the romance being broken.
Don't you have better things to do with your time? I figured the glorious Azure Chevalier would be far too busy with the war to be hanging out around here.
It's tough being popular.
Yeah.
If you joined us, I could get away with doing half the work I am now.
Priorities.
So come on, stop freaking out about it so much and make a choice.
This isn't something I can just decide by flipping a coin, Crow!
I don't know why I feel like taking a screenshot there.
Besides, it'd probably be an easier choice if not for a certain someone. What's that in your hand, anyway?
Grub, of course. Kinda early, but I brought you your lunch. Mind if I join you?
Well, you're providing food, so, you know, maybe.
Hamburgers, fries, and onion rings, huh? I was expecting something more fancy like I had last night.
Oh, that kind of food more your thing? Okay then, give me a minute while I go ask the chef to whip something up.
No, this is fine. The burger looks delicious.
Yeah, it kind of does for what it is.
Cool. All right, dig in.
This tastes kinda different from a normal burger. Oh, no wonder. It's got whitefish in it.
Yeah, they're called fish burgers.
I haven't had fish burgers in a while. They're pretty good.
Pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the tartar sauce makes for an unusual extra flavoring too. Oh. This tastes amazing. I like this way more than the food I had last night, to be honest.
Well, glad to hear it. Guess it was worth putting my cooking skills to the test after all.
Wait, you made this?
Was my first time cooking in a while, too. Sharon could probably do better, though.
Oh. Bro wants to feed Green.
But I wanted to give it a shot anyway. This stuff was like soul food back in Jirai where I grew up.
Oh.
To think, all the time we spent searching for the leader of the Imperial Liberation Front, and he was right under our noses. Crow Armbrust from the Jirai SEZ.
Oh, yeah. Vita was using some weird thing of hers to let you see what was going on, wasn't she?
Yeah.
So I guess you saw what happened there.
Yeah.
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 Jirai was that special economic zone in the northwest you guys went to during our August field study, too.
We didn't run into anything like that in the Jirai Special Economic Zone. Though, I guess that makes sense seeing as it's under the direct control of the Imperial government and not a noble.
I seem to recall that it was annexed 8 years ago. Is that right?
No voice dialogue there. Okay.
So you ended up going back to your old hometown then?
Yeah, by pure coincidence. It's changed a lot since I was last there, so it was kind of surreal being back again. But it was nostalgic in its own way, too.
It's been bugging me for a long time now. What could have made you want to join a group of terrorists like the Imperial Liberation Front? What was it that made you hate Chancellor Osborne that much? Enough to take his life? Oh. Tell me, Crow. Please.
Yes, we got a backstory.
I want to know what it was that made you who you are now. What kind of place Jirai was, how you lived there, and what you were doing before you entered the academy and met Toa, Angelica, and George.
Where's the fun in prying into a guy's past?
Well, we want to know you better, and we want backstory. That's basically why.
Save all that talk for your number one in class. Who's the lucky girl anyway? Elisa? Laura? Emma? Fee?
Well, Laura is one option.
And don't tell me it's Milliam, because, you know,
I'm serious, Crow. I really want to know.
He really wants to know you, Crow. Body and soul.
Think of telling me your past is paying off the interest you owe on that 50 Mira. Because until I know, until we know, we won't be able to move forward.
And a lot of screenshots that just can come off out of context.
You're really serious.
Yeah, he's serious, alright.
Crow?
My past really isn't that big of a deal, you know. It's got nothing on yours, that's for sure. If you find yourself thinking that's all when I'm done, well, I warned you. So, you really want to know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing you say will change my mind.
I think I'm just gonna make this a short stream, and I apologize, guys. Just my mind is drifting elsewhere. I at least want to get an hour in.
Please, tell me.
Alright, you win. Like I said, it's just your run-of-the-mill sob story. Pick up any history textbook and you'll probably find a dozen others just like it.
Yeah, probably, but still, execution matters.
It's the kind of story that's so common no one bothers to remember it, like it never even happened.
He's trying to tell the players, don't raise your expectations of anything kind of grand or super dramatic or anything. Just keep it down.
Back in those days, Jirai was known as Jirai City. It was a city-state off the coast of northwest Zemuria that prospered through maritime trade with West Erebonia, North Ambria, and Remiferia. It had a population of around 150,000 people, so it wasn't exactly a big place or anything. Because of that, the surrounding nations left it alone and let us live out our days in peace. We were pretty fortunate, all things considered. Until about 20 years ago. That was when the North Ambrian disaster struck, and much of the Principality of North Ambria was turned to salt. And as a result, trade on the northwest shore was reduced to virtually nothing. Day after day, Jirai's prosperity started to fade away. Still, it wasn't all bad. We had our fishing, our historic landmarks, our septium mines. We could make use of those to get trade going again, both to keep our state running and to help out North Ambria. In fact, the one who advocated that approach was the mayor, my grandfather. He was the last mayor Jirai City ever had.
Oh, look at little pro there. Just being cute.
He was a stubborn old bastard, but he had this wry sense of humor, and was well loved by everyone.
It looks like they get along real well.
I lost my mom and dad early, so he was also my only living relative. He taught me just about everything a guy could know. He was like a mom, dad, and your old master rolled into one, I guess. Anyway, fast forward to 10 years ago. Out of nowhere, we received this proposal from the Erebonian government. They said they wanted to extend a railway line from Heimdall all the way to Jirai. We relied on the sea for trade before, but there wasn't any reason to believe we couldn't benefit from being connected to Heimdall by rail. The proposal drew overwhelming support from the city's council, and as a result, my grandfather was forced to accept.
Well, it sounds like a good idea, and also, thank you very much for the hosting as well, Magneto.
Within a year, the city had all of its old life back and then some. The streets were more bustling than ever. But keep in mind, this was a result of huge amounts of imperial capital flowing into the city. Land and buildings we once treasured were bought up left and right. Everything became a target for investment. People only cared about making money.
Greed took over.
Something similar supposedly happened in Crossbell too, but unlike there, no opposition existed in Jirai. My grandfather sensed something was off, and he tried what he could to get the situation under control. Then one day, someone blew up the railway line leading to Jirai. Everyone demanded that it be repaired as quickly as possible. Everyone except the Imperial government.
Well,
instead, they panned our national security arrangements for being insufficient and threatened to withdraw all Imperial capital. The city was left in an uproar like we'd never seen. Shares plummeted, and with no one able to ascertain the culprit's identity, chaos reigned. That was when he showed up. Chancellor Gileath Osborne, in his third year as representative of the Imperial government, personally came to Jirai. We then received a second proposal.
The restoration of the railway and its future security will be seen to by the Imperial Army. In return for our continued assistance in safekeeping, Jirai will come under the wing of our glorious empire.
Scheming.
And attain even greater prosperity as a special economic zone.
The timing was too good to be true, really. Realizing this, my grandfather staunchly opposed the idea. He tried everything he could to convince the city's council to reject the offer. Unfortunately, once you taste the sweet fruit of prosperity, it's hard to want to go back. The council, made up of influential merchants and all their greed, jumped at the offer.
I hear fireworks.
And tempted by the elimination of customs, together with the tax breaks from being an SEZ, many of the citizens did too.
They fell to a political trap.
And during all that, they'd conveniently found a suspect behind the railway incident. My grandfather.
They fell for a political trap.
He loved Jirai more than anyone, and up till then, its people loved him too. And yet, virtually overnight, he found himself facing the wrath of both the city's council and the citizens alike. Left with no choice, he resigned from his position as mayor, and Jirai formally became part of the empire. Both of these things happened on the same exact day. That was 8 years ago. Naturally, everyone knew my grandfather wasn't the one who did it.
So who did?
They knew who was really responsible. They just turned a blind eye to the truth.
Yeah.
See? I warned you. Just your run-of-the-mill sob story.
Yeah, so it's very heavily implied that Gilead, Osborne, blew up the railway, then found a convenient excuse to come in and make Jirai fold under the Empire. Political trap.
I don't know what to say, Crow. What happened to him after that? Your grandfather.
One day, he just up and died. Once he resigned, the whole affair with the railway getting blown up was all but forgotten. He lived comfortably in retirement for about half a year, fell ill, and that was that. He just lost the will to go on, I guess.
I can't blame him.
Like I said, he was the only family I had. I mean, I had plenty of friends even then, but I chose to leave it all behind. I was 13 at the time. I wandered the land, doing whatever I had to get by. That was when I met old Cayenne, who happily indulged my hatred for the Chancellor. And with his financial backing, I went out with the goal to find others who were just like me. That was the beginning of the Imperial Liberation Front.
Yep, all rallying together to hate on the Osborne.
Gideon, Scarlet, and Vulcan were among those I recruited. I'd also met Vita then. I only knew her as the woman who would often come to see Cayenne. She guided me to a place below the city of Ordis, and there slept the Azure Knight Ordine. One after another, I overcame the same trials you did with your friends, but alone.
Yeah, he's being a badass just doing this alone.
And once I'd proven myself worthy, Ordine accepted me as his awakener. That was 3 years ago. I was 16.
So he's 19.
My preparations complete, I concealed my background and enrolled in a military academy near the capital. Everything I did for the sole purpose of taking the Chancellor's head.
But were the bonds with your friends genuine?
Come on now, what's with the face? You look sadder about all this than I do.
Yeah, Green's just showing a lot of empathy.
Yeah, I guess.
I swear. I'm not trying to tell you the Chancellor was evil or anything.
This is important. To me, at least.
What? Still, there's no denying that he managed to outwit my grandfather. And he may have lost, but Pop's always loved a good gamble. It's thanks to him that I'm pretty good at chess, card games, that kind of stuff. I'd say it's fairly normal for a student to want to avenge his master's defeat, wouldn't you?
Maybe.
At the end of the day, there's no denying this country has problems, and the Chancellor's methods were making them worse. I studied those problems, worked out how to use the situation to my advantage, and then won the game with an all-or-nothing gamble. But when you think of how peaceful Jirai is now, I'd say I've got a duty to clear up the mess left behind by my game too, which means ending this war and restoring peace. So it's only when that's done that my game is truly over.
All valid reasons on your personal revenge quest, on getting revenge and taking on Osborne, even if you drag the whole Civil War in the process. Look at that smile.
I don't want whatever your decision is to be influenced by my past, okay? Like Rufus said, you need to think long and hard about what it is you're fighting for. For you, more than anyone else.
Not for others, for you, Rean.
Yeah, but Crow.
Anyway, I think I've stuck around here for long enough. You're gonna be treated as a visitor. Well, sort of. It's about time for the higher-ups to head back to Heimdall, so go ahead and pass the time however you want.
However I want. What else can I even do here?
Well, you see... I like this song. Bye-bye, guys.
There'll be no guards outside your room, so if you want to try and escape, be my guest. Just keep in mind that some members of Ouroboros and Zephyr are on board too. Not to mention me, Scarlet, and Vulcan. So if you're up for a gamble of your own, get ready to take all of us on.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, sounds fun indeed.
Oh yeah, one more thing. There's this real cute visitor in the guest of honors room on the second floor.
Hint.
I think she'd perk right up if she saw you, so why not go pay her a visit? Just don't go making your girl jealous, okay?
You mean both my girls? Will you be jealous, Crow? You're Rean's
I wonder
BFF.
who he means. He said she's in the guest of honors room. Well, I can't waste much time here. I told everyone I'd definitely come back soon. Right now, I need to gather as much information as I can. I can make my choice after that. At least then, it'll be an informed one.
So we're free to just explore the airship and wander around. A lot of red exclamation marks. We got a lot going on here. But we can't go here though. Yeah. You're muting on the crow section? Alright. I'm actually gonna back, even though I said I was gonna do an hour, I feel like this is a good stopping point anyways. Oh, I understand, Izayoi. If you've heard it many times, then I can't blame you. I'm actually gonna be stopping. I'm not feeling the most focused. I'm just gonna explore the ship a little bit, then I'm just gonna go raid blue. At least I got some stuff done a little bit.
This should be the guest of honor's room. It sounds like whoever's in there is busy. Might be better to swing by later.
Yeah, I understand what you mean, Izayoi. It's like, I'm a little sympathetic to his actions. I understand why he did it. Yeah, doesn't justify it, but it's not baseless. So I'm just kind of neutral about it. It's like, what's done is done. We gotta fix a big mess. Yeah, so for the chunk of the intermission, we get to, chill and discuss, discuss things with the antagonist of Cold Steel 2, and pretty much all of them, maybe except, Jubilee, are really cool, chill folks. It's like nothing personal. It's all business, and it's easy to get chummy with them. But we can do that next time. Because, yeah, I'm not focused. To be quite honest. Oh, I was thinking of playing something else tomorrow just to kind of make a change of pace, but I feel like I owe a good Cold Steel 2 stream tomorrow. Something lengthier. And with that, we're gonna go bother Blue, because I'm interested in, his more reactionary, Trails of Zero finale hype. Much more entertaining person than I am. But thank you very much for stopping by, Izzy. I thank you for the company, and I appreciate you, coming here. Hopefully I see you around more, but, there are too many people to watch. I understand. Especially with people who are playing Kaseki blind for the first time, and their fun reactions. It's like, yeah, I'm falling for the same boat too. With that, have a good night, guys, whoever else is kind of lurking around. See you there, or see you around another day.